So now I'm going to describe a footwork pattern that's called beset. Beset means foot drag, where I'm dragging the foot behind the person's leg. It's almost a trip. And I'm going to be applying the formula base, angle, and leverage. Maren, can you come here, please? Thank you. We'll do it slow first, for his sake. Okay, shoot a punch. Okay. Again, all the principles earlier of the upper body segment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step and get a good base. The first part of my formula, BAL, balance acronym, base. Next thing I want to do is I want to grab a proper angle. Remember, this was made for small people against large people, so you don't use strength and you don't use power. You don't even try to use speed, because that comes naturally once you understand what you're doing. Good base, good angle. Now notice, I'm intersecting his baseline. If this is his baseline, right here, from rear foot to front foot, that line you see an imaginary line, I intersect it perpendicularly with my angle, he's going to go down. Doesn't matter how big he is or how small he is, and it doesn't matter what handle I have on him. Makes no difference. So I got a good base, I have a good angle, very relaxed. You'll see right there. Don't have to apply much. This one here, I use leverage. Leverage is usually a push or a hit, where angle is more of a pull. So I apply leverage, and now I have him in a formula or in a position where it's going to be uncompromising and uncomfortable for him. I'll take a little foot drag, and he's down. Okay, one more time. Relax. Good base, but relax, not rigid. Always relax. Weight forward, forward, angle, little bit leverage, and a little foot drag. Okay. Base, angle, leverage, foot drag. Now this doesn't matter where you do it, inside or outside, it really makes no difference. But the key also is, when you punch, is not to go back with a strong force. Yes, I have this position, but he's got the control. You don't want to be in this position. That's the wrong answer. What you want to be in is this position. See, weight forward, weight forward. Just like Jury 1 showed you, weight forward. You don't want to be catching up to an initiative. You want to have that initiative. So you're up here, base, angle, leverage, little foot drag. Okay? Now let's break up the formula. I'm going to use, excuse me a second, I'm going to use base and angle. Okay? Base, angle. Sorry, you over? Yeah. Okay, that's breaking up the threesome, base and angle. I'll use base and leverage to give you an idea. Base, leverage. Could have been a hit, could have been whatever you want it to be. Now, I'm going to do angle and leverage without base. And I always say this, you can be doing the Irish jig and it'll still work, because it's a formula. A formula works. So I'm going to be doing the Irish jig, and it's just an example, but it works. I used angle and leverage to take him down. And you can use any combination of that formula. What haven't I done? I think I've done it all, right? Okay. Again, I have a good baseline. Remember, I'm going to have angulation after the base, and I want to be sure that I use opposite leverage with my lower leg. This leverage helps, of course, it's really a hit. Okay? If he's tough and going down, what you might want to do is you want to tenderize him first. See, across the hip. So what I did basically was I applied the formula. I applied base, angle, leverage, and then I added a little thing to it. I used opposite levers to make the foot drag with a beset complete. So if I'm going to drag him in the opposite direction of the angulation, so I'm pulling perpendicular to his baseline, and I drag. All right. To continue with lower body, we've covered the beset, which is a foot drag. Next, we're going to cover a sweep called sapu. Now, base angle leverage plays an important part in that too. But another aspect or principle I want to add on is you want to move one base at a time. Let me go into that a little bit before you come on, Eric. One base at a time, I mean you have to have one base stationary in order to generate power from. If I'm going to touch this ceiling here, or try and touch the ceiling, won't be able to, but I can try, I need a base in order to jump up from, to generate force in order to touch. If my base is moving, I won't be able to get that momentum upwards. And the same thing when you're moving laterally or with an opponent, you have to have one base. Now, the bases that are divided in silat are lower base or footwork, legs attached, and shoulders. So if I'm moving both my lower base and my shoulders at the same time, it's great for evasion, but not to generate power. Would you come forward now, Eric? A good way to explain this is just to show you. Okay, now for sapu, you come in slowly first. Again, principles, they don't change. I'm just going to be applying them again. I come in for the sweep. Again, I have base, good base, and I'm going to apply angle and leverage. But look what I'm doing here. I moved in with my lower base. My upper base did not move. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I kept straight, and that's all I did. Forward momentum. The reason for that is if this base is moving and I get jammed, I can still generate power. If I'm moving both bases, he'll be able to cut my angle, and there's nothing I can do. It would be like a larger momentum ball hitting a smaller sphere in space, and the smaller sphere would just ricochet off. That's exactly what would happen. So how sapu works is one base at a time, step in. Okay? Stationary. This is moving. Next, since I got a good base, I'm going to apply leverage. And the angle is with the foot. Now look, I don't push him away because what am I doing? I'm planting weight in his rear leg. So if I sweep this, see, what I do is I want to keep him towards me. See? One more time. Slowly. Good. Whatever you want to do, it makes no difference. But good base. In tight. Forward. See what I do? Would you come in again, please? Okay, control. One base at a time. Relax. Good strong base, but relax. I'm going to grab his other shoulder here. And see where the shoulders are in line? That's usually the direction you want to push him. Okay. One more time. Whatever you do, coming in, whatever. Okay. Then you apply opposite levers again. So I'm applying upward leverage and lowered angle. One more time, work through it again. Again, I'm going to go through all the principles which I went through earlier in the tape. Tool before my body, one base at a time, forward, good base, but relaxed, not crashing, being sensitive, feel, 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 feel. See, controlling the whole way. Thank you. And of course, what you can do on the left side, you can do on the right side, it makes no difference. Same thing. Again, I'm not moving my upper body. See? One more time, please. Thank you. Do this slow. With everything I'm showing you, do it slow, do it relaxed. It should feel like butter. If your opponent that you're working with or the partner that you're working with, if he feels too much strength, you're doing it wrong. Too much power, you're doing it wrong. It should be very relaxed, calm. I always tell my students, pretend that you have your arms and your legs are noodles. Very relaxed. That's the best way, a good foundation to start to generate power. Okay, now that we've gone through upper body and lower body in sequence, we're going to be combining. You're going to see that one of the attitudes, the principles in Silat is that what you can do on the left side, you can do on the right side. What you can do high, you can do low. What you can do inside, you can do outside. So in other words, it's not so much technique as it is understanding in what you're doing. I could take any particular technique and make it work in a lot of different situations with a little variation. As long as you understand, you can make that variation. If you don't understand, then all you have is a technique that works in one specific situation, and that's it. And that's what I want everybody to stray away from. I don't want that. I would rather have more understanding of a simple technique than a lot of different techniques which you can only use for those specific situations. Can Aaron, would you come in, please? All right. Now this is how the principle of just combining everything works. Granted that you do understand some of the basics. Okay, Aaron, would you come in, please? Yeah, I could have hit and everything. I'm just showing you basically how the body mechanics works. One more time what I'm doing. See? Take center line. That's what, come back to it. Thank you. This is what automatically would happen. See, he'd be going this way. That's when you, what I did was I took opposite levers. One more time slowly. Took center line. Waited for him to come in. Elbow. And I'm pulling in this direction, and with my knee, I'm uprooting. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
I hit my knee. Okay. Just come with something else, please. Another principle, instead of what I didn't do was this. All the way out of the way. Okay? If he's sensitive, he's going to, I want you to counter that. Okay? See? That's exactly what will happen. Exactly what will happen. So you have to take control of the situation. See? Take control of the situation. Come in again, please. Don't dummy for me.
Yes.
Next time, I want you to come in. Thank you. You okay now?
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine, I'll look too. Whatever you want to get. Okay. Now how this works with upper body when I'm combining. Work it this way. This is my leverage point. Off balance. One more time. Controlling center line. Just a few examples of what you can do once you start combining and you understand base angle leverage, cutting the line, controlling center line, using the waiter stance, back up, one base at a time, using inside and out. Now the same situation coming against this that I did here, come out on the outside, see? Makes no difference. At this point in time, I'd like to cover weapons. Any study of Silat is not complete without an understanding of weapons. Since Silat is a weapons-based martial art, most, if not every technique you can do empty hand, you can do with a weapon. There are a lot of weapons that Silat has fortes in, but I would like to cover the knife. The knife is very applicable where we live and this time. What you just saw was just a little free flow exercise of high line and low line coverage. It's very important. This is a principle, especially when you're empty hand against a weapon, is you have to cover a high line and low line. The reason being, you do not want to trade a strike with an empty hand against a strike with a weapon, because a weapon will kill. It's lethal. Would you come in, Richard, please? Okay, typical example of what I mean by high line and low line. Just come up with very exaggerated now for the camera. Okay, let's say I blocked here and I came in with a strike to the groin or what have you. There, we traded blows. I got the worst end of it. What you have to do is you have to control before you want to hurt the assailant. You have to control. Big C, it's very important. You need to control the weapon's arm, hand, whichever limb is welding the weapon. You need to control it. If you do not control it, it's out of control. If it's out of control, you're dead. Simple. So what happens is when I'm here, I take low line and high line. You see what I'm doing? This is high line, this is low line. Look at the way my hands work. I'm showing back, back. Just like when you're doing the juror, say you aren't showing your vitals. Again, one more time. If he retracts, that's what's cut. If I did this, retract, yeah, I might as well run away and hold on to this because I'm going to bleed out. So what you want is this. Now, if I have high line, like I said, I want to take low line. How this works is before he retracts to feed me another one, I take, low line. Very relaxed. This is a disarm. Right here, this is a disarm. I have high line and low line. At this point in time, I can roll and take him either behind, or I can roll and take him to the front. Okay? Very important, high line, low line. One more time, high line, low line. Becomes from this direction, high line, low line, or high line coming in tighter, low line. Doesn't matter what tool you use, but the principle has to be there. You can also, from here, from this point, do this. See? All right? It doesn't matter how you do it, but you need high line, low line. If you come in with a low line this way, again, see here? This. Not like this. See? If it's going to pass your body, which I don't like to do a technique like that, but if you have to, you want bring it in. Sorry, bring it in. That is a disarm, because what happens is you break it and control it away from the body. Coming in from this position, again, high line, low line. This way. One time. Low line, high line. I'm exaggerating. He's exaggerating. That's the best way to check and tell. Okay. So it's very important that you take care of high line and low line. Okay, now with that principle, everything else that you saw previously in this tape you can use. Elbows, knees, all of the principles and laws. So if he came in, there, I took care of high line and low line. At this point in time, I could have, yes, block, cut, whatever, but you always want to take the knife away. Up again, Richard. Okay, this is not an extensive coverage of knife or weapons, but it is something that you can consider, that everything you do in Silat open hand, you can do with a weapon.